Hello everyone, thank you for joining our webinar today. I'm Renata Kalniūnienė, Marketing Project Manager at Softneta, and today we have a webinar dedicated for our new release. And Vytautas Baublys, our CEO, is going to present all new features and updates. If you have any questions, please write them in the chat section. At the end of the webinar, I'm going to read the questions and we will try to answer them. And also a reminder that this webinar is going to be recording now. So after webinar, you are going to receive the video recording and presentation PDF file. And of course, if we can't answer all your questions, we're going to put them in that presentation file. So I think we can start with this.
Yes, many thanks, Renata, for the introduction of today's webinar. So this webinar is the first webinar of this year. So first, I'd like to congratulate everyone for the Happy New Year. I hope everyone will have a more stable year around and what I hope that all these disturbances which is happening around the world will be resolved somehow. So, starting about our release, which we're having now, I believe it will be very nice features which you will see. But before starting the presentation of new version, I like to comment a little bit about the upcoming year. So I'm happy to say that we have expecting at least 2-3 more releases this year. So one will definitely happen before summer. So please check our news in the website to be prepared and see the all upcoming news. Another new thing which we're planning to add to our routine is having another webinar which will happen quite soon with our partners to show most interesting integrations of our product in the partners portfolio and what we achieved. So we expect to have it quite soon, and I recommend for everyone to join and see what our partners did with our product, how we integrated, in which workflows we're using, and maybe some ideas will born in your vision, which you can consume and create. And also, please not hesitate to ask us what you also like to present your integration, which you did with our product, and share your ideas. So we expect to do such webinars 2-3 times maximum per year. Some of our partners which would like to present their solution, which use our technology for all our portfolio, just to give more ideas for our partners. Another very important presentation which we are adding also, which in the past we never did so officially, we plan to have some medical trainings on our technology for the end users. So all our partners can use this trainings as training material, and also we plan to use professional doctor which will try to explain for the new users how to use the MedDream, what you can do with MedDream, how to do measurements and other stuff. And we plan to introduce this new webinar in also before summer. So I really, for these of our partners which like to train the application specialists, which like to include some end users of our technology on these trainings, I also recommend to follow up our website. And the final thing, we got many letters from our partners about our technical trainings. So we're happy to announce that it will be continued. And our next technical training is expected to happen about the new hanging protocols which we're releasing and upgrading this year. So it will be a lot of changes and a lot of flexibility will born in our hanging protocols. So I really also recommend for you to watch our website and YouTube channel for upcoming new materials, which will definitely happen. So our initial expectation that at least twice more webinars we will face this year, and I hope will allow you to understand our technology better, and also give you some ideas how you can be more successfully by using a MedDream in your workflows, your products, or your daily routine work. So now I'm switching my attention to the new release. So I'm very pleased to say that 8.3.1 version is already released, and you can access it through our online demo, also download and upgrade your systems. So now what is new? So actually most, as you see, the functions is a visual functions. So we have a presentation tool, which I will present later on. We have ruler, we have many other upgrades for visual usage and some more nice ergonomic feeling. So some of the features is really asked me for many years, and I'm happy to announce that they finally come to our product. So now it's more detailed list what was done. So the black, you see this visual features. Another functions which is in more gray is more improvements than new features. But one I like to really highlight, because I know that many of our partners really ask it this. So improved fast scroll between series functionality. In the past, we had only option either fast scroll between series is enabled or disabled. And we know that in some cases, the doctors don't want to scroll in another one. For example, in CT, MR series, they don't want to scroll through series, but in ultrasound we want. So now we added flexibility, but your administrative person can configure which type of data you like to scroll, which not. And I will show later on how to configure, how to do this, and this definitely was really big improvement. Other functions is more technical functions, and we will not stop because they will not influence the visuality, but all other visual functions will be known. Maybe some more also stop on the behavior of our viewer with big data sets on Mozilla Chrome. So big data sets now, because of browsers, how browsers use the memory, is really demand the powerful PCs to process, mainly for the memory. And we hope that this behavior will be resolved in upcoming upgrades of the browsers. But at this point, to work with the MPR functionality, the curved functionality which was released, you demand the big memory in your PCs, and of course the processing calculation power is needed. So if you see some malfunction, so you need to know what you need to contact our support team, but they could investigate what type of size of data you're using and advise you some browsers which would help you overcome the issues. But for all general things is not influenced, but mostly for the MPR functionality, especially when you use new release of curved MPR, which demands some more memory. So this we recommend for you to check and take in account. So now we're starting of features. As usual, I will do a presentation, and then I will go to the live presentation of the features. So this feature is really amazing and very visual, especially for these of our end users which work in university or train the employees. So this function will be definitely used a lot in the universities, and as I said, in this facilities which train the personnel or which try to explain for patients some issues and like to explain it on the screen, not by showing with finger, but showing with some tools. So this is already, I believe, very, very advanced functionality for the presentations. I will show later on how it's worked, and I was amazed how easy it's to use and how intuitive it is. So this feature really I was asked for many, many years, and I always said that maybe in future we will create. And finally, our technology became enough mature to allow our users to create different views, different scrolling in different windows by selecting different ways how to scroll. So now, as you see, for example, this CT study contains the viewport of 4 images, and one viewport could be split in different numbers and could be scrolled through with different numbers. So this is very, very nice feature, especially for these MR CT doctors, which is really need to see many series, and we like to scroll not by 1 image but immediately by 4 and speed up the usage of time. So this is very, very nice feature, and we will see how it's work and how to use this feature in my presentation, live presentation. Ruler, so it was definitely asked for many of our partners, which really need to understand the scale, and this scale could be easy added now. So now, as you see, we have special button which the same like show angles could always present a scale. Plus, we immediately knowing what probably doctors would not need in all studies the scale. So we made this ruler configurable. I will present both how to create, how to enable the ruler, and how to show it on the viewport itself. Another very important function which some of our end users was really unsatisfied. So because we like to place the line measurement according the some horizontal or vertical presentation. So this can be done by using Alt button and mouse. So later on I will show it's allowed to be placed only in few directions, and when the doctors is not influenced anymore by very slight movement of mouse right or left, which allow you to be not precisely horizontal or vertical. So now with Alt button you will be precisely horizontal or vertical. So it's also allowed to be more precise on the measurements. This function is definitely the same important function for the ultrasound, angiography, and endoscopy, because I know what most of you was used, most of doctors was used to use multi-frames. In such scenario, when they run multi-frame, they stop it at any point, and they can use the arrow keys to move right, left through that. In the past, we didn't have that chance, and now the hotkeys is really created, and now doctors can stop at any point. They can scroll and see the images. So this is definitely, especially for the angiography, heart ultrasound is critical, and we know that many of doctors will really benefit from that function. That's one of the reasons actually was also to make this new release so fast. Another very huge improvement of our automated synchronization between series is new synchronization, which we called distance mode. So for all our old users, I like to remember that we have two ways in the past how we automatically try to synchronize the series when you scroll. One was automatical, which would check the eye contacts and would found the same anatomical place for the series. In these cases where it was impossible, we had manual, the doctor need to find exact image in another series, and when they scroll, all series would be scrolled by instances. But in some cases, when series have different distances between the slides, for example, one series have 1 millimeter distance between images, another 10 millimeters, it was impossible to nicely synchronize when you scroll in this way. So the new method allows our algorithm to count how many millimeters you scrolled in the main image, and then same amount of millimeters would be scrolled through other series. So for example, if our series is 10 millimeters, each slide is 10 millimeters, so we will scroll only each 10 scroll which you did on the main image. So this definitely, this semi-automatic mode allows for most of the cases found for doctors possibility to scroll synchronously and select depend of their need. Another important function, but this is more for the technical team, for our partners. So when our product is opened through URL, now you can fully control what functions will be visible for the doctor at the opening, which will be disabled automatically. This really allows to reduce load on the interface of unneeded functions. So our partners, when they open it from the informational system, they really can determine by the users what user will get which functions and control it through our API. So I really recommend to check the API documentation, because it's more documentation and technical things. So you can also contact our support team to help you implement these features in your integration workflow. So this is all features, visual features which we done. And also I like to announce that we're happy that this version is already registered in Malaysia. So all our partners which plan to sell in Malaysia, we can know that this product is already officially registered as a medical device in Malaysian market. Yes, so now I'm switching to the live presentation, and later on we will proceed with questions. Yes, so now I log in to my local system. So first I will start from the CT presentation, how you can now create different views. For example, now I have view and I can scroll in each of the viewport by one image. But for example, I would like to split this viewport in different images. So I can select my MISC, and now I selecting in different way. So now when I scroll, all these images is scrolled, and I still, in the past, we didn't have this possibility to split one window in different layouts, and for that series, scroll them synchronously. So this is really amazing feature, and you can apply this feature on any treatment you like, MR, CTs, even some bigger X-ray treatments where you have many of images and you like to compare with different series. So all this possible now, and this function is definitely was demanded by many of our partners, because in the past you was not able, and as you see, this images is also synchronized in that area. So you can zoom, rotate, change windowing, and all of them will be changed. So for example, now I'm scrolling, I'm zooming. So all it's synchronized. So this allow really for doctor to speed up some viewing of images if it's needed. So this is a first function which I like to present. The next function I like to show in the settings. So now if we go to view, so is several things exist. First, we like to speak about the fast scroll, what we discussed. But scrolling function, it was not possible to configure for specific series. So as you see, active fast scroll now is disabled. I can for all series or modality. If I select modality, so fast scroll will be applied only for these modalities which is marked. So for these of our partners which didn't like to scroll in CTs, MRs, and only use scrolling in X-ray, ultrasound, so they can now selectively create it. So this is a significant upgrade for the fast scroll, and we already know that it's really will be very useful for many doctors. And another function is a ruler. So ruler, as you see, I can configure for which type of data the ruler will be applied. It's very easy to do. I just select any and add, and the list is automatically created, and I save it. So when I save it, so my ruler is already enabled for this type of data, and ruler can be enabled, disabled when in measurements. So in measurements, I disable. As you see, it's no anymore ruler is applicable, or I enable the ruler back. So ruler enabled back, and while it's enabled, so all next time when I open any CT, for example, I open again, it remembers what my preference is with ruler. So any data which is already selected in my setting to be applied by ruler, so I see the zoom level automatically, and I don't need each time and open, because it's already saved in my local memory for my usage, and for doctor, we don't need to remember it anymore. So 1 second, I will check now what was next. So yes, now I like to do a presentation of the tools for the presentation. So again, it's a new toolbar created for the presentation. So we can imagine what it's like desk now. So I, for example, I am like to show patient or student something on this image. So I have several selections. I can just draw something. I draw and it's disappeared in some time, because we have two types of presentations. One is a drawings which disappear in the time, and you can draw different things and it disappears. Another, we have drawings with some arrows. So you like to draw immediately having some arrow, and they also disappear. Or we have drawings which never disappear. So for example, I like to draw like this, then have different coloring, draw another one. And I like that through all my presentation, it stays. So I have selection. But when I like to clear, it's like desk, I just erase it. and I can continue and talk and discuss. Only one thing at this point is no saving of this drawing. It's just to talk, brainstorm together with colleague, student, or explain for the patient the situation. So, and yes, we already had some tests in universities, and this was accepted highly and very appreciated. So I hope for these of you which really work in this workflow and you need something to explain, this will be really useful. We already explained that. Ruler we already did. Yes, the measurement. The measurement is also very important. So now I select the measurement. So try to explain you. You see now for me it's very hard to understand this is what vertical, what horizontal measurement is, because I need very precisely move my mouse and I can slightly do mistakes. So to avoid it, we created a new way how the measurement can be placed. I click my Alt button, I select the measurement, and now I'm not able to move. You see my mouse moves, but it's only in one direction, horizontal, or in vertical. So I select, I do the same Alt, I draw, and you see it's no possibility for me to make a mistake, and it will be precise 90 angle. Now I click show angles and we will see that all of these angles is 90, which I created using the tool, and previously I had some slight mistakes and I would need to correct it. So this definitely for these of our doctors which need really align precisely to the horizontal or vertical the measurement. Now this headache is removed fully. Just please use the Alt hotkey to precisely draw the measurement. Yes, now the ultrasound and this, yes, definitely very important part. So now I close and I open some multi-frame image. Let's start with ultrasound. So in the past when I have ultrasound, I start ultrasound, I had the problem, but if I stop, I can scroll only with my mouse on the line and move. Now the new function, when I stop, I can go left by using left arrow or right arrow, and I can do precisely and can be very precise. So this is definitely very critical improvement of navigation for the ultrasound angiography. It's most of the doctors said, but it was really hard without that to be precise and do it take much longer than we used. So to do a diagnosis. So now finally we removed this bottleneck, and the doctors will be able to use arrow keys on the keyboard together with the mouse actions, and they will be really having different feeling by using this. Let's see what's other things. Yes, the distance. So now I'm returning back to the CT study to show some change. So now when I open CT or MRI study and I place different series in the viewport, so let's do 2 by 2 just for you to have better understanding. So I had possibility to use automated linking. So when I click automated linking, let's zoom a little bit, but you can see better the icons. Now let's get back. So now when I select it's now manual. So when I click scroll manual, so manual it's 1 by 1. I scroll 1 in left instance, another instance will be scrolled in the right. So if I select automated, so when I scroll automated, it will be synchronized by the anatomical place. So these two treatments is well synchronized, but if I drop another one, which is less synchronized, you see it's automatically founded the anatomical place. But this not always can happen. So when it's not happen, we have another one. When I click, you see now D. D allows now me to scroll the same millimeters in both opened viewports. So for example, if I scroll here 1 millimeter, this window also will scroll only 1 millimeter. So doctor can manually find the right places and don't care. He will know what the same amount of millimeters will be scrolled in different viewports. So this was also missing point, especially in these cases where for example, for the performance, doctor selecting different protocols to scan. For example, without contrast, he scans very fast. With contrast, slower to see different movements of contrast in the blood, and then it was very hard to synchronize and scroll between these areas and compare them and have the ideas. So now with this free ways to automatically scroll it, now we believe we resolved all possible scenarios for doctor to simplify for them to simultaneously scroll to 2 or 3 or 4 different series. Yes, okay. So I believe we already passed all the news. Yes. So I already did all, so we can come to the questions. And of course, please not forget us to visit in Arab Health. This will be next show, which you can meet us in person in Dubai. So it's just after 2 weeks. So please check our location and we will be more than happy to welcome you all. So please, Renata, take and share your list of questions.
Okay. So the first question, how could we integrate more features inside the viewer, for example, for education?
So it's 2 ways exist how you can integrate. We have plugin system. So in our viewer, we can even run third-party applications. So for that reason, you need to contact our support department and integration department. They will analyze your applications which you would like to run in the MedDream, and they will allow you to configure the MedDream in such fashion, but some third-party applications could be run inside of the MedDream. Another way is also discuss with our sales department about your needs and what functions you would like to integrate, and you can get quite precise estimation on the time and materials cost to integrate the workflows or the functions which you need. So basically you can create and get any needed function or any needed integration in our product for educational purposes.
Okay, thank you. Another question. We are Instant Rad, a teleradiology platform as a service company where you can build your technology company using our software. Quick question. How do you perform synchronous comparative analysis with prior and existing studies?
Yes, so for this reason, you have 2 ways how you can do that. It's a manually, so it means doctor need to manually search and find comparable studies. And when we open in one viewport, because you just open them and you able to compare them, create own layout. Another way, by configuring right hanging protocols. So hanging protocols would do it automatically. They would open as much priors as you configure it. And the third way is we have history button. So when doctor opens study, he can go to the history button and he will see all studies which is in the system for that patient and select additional studies which must be compared. So it's all possible ways is available, but this how you utilize that is depend on the integration level. How you integrated our technology into your product, but it could access right databases to perform this search of studies.
Okay, thank you. Another one from the same attendee. Also, can you demo cardiac imaging and its robustness on your viewer?
So you always can go to our online demo. It's some cardiac ultrasound exists. You can open it, but of course the better situation is to talk with our sales team, and you can get demo license. You can try it with your data and see how it's performed on your environment with your specific configuration. So this is more recommended. So, but online demos already exist, and you can open and work. And of course, if you need our assistance in explanation, you better contact and arrange our application specialist to work with you and explain you everything.
And I see we have another question regarding comparative analysis, which means the radiologist will need more than one monitor for that.
It's depend on the configuration which radiologists use. As you know, most of radiologists use several screens. So the MedDream support few panels. So it means they can could be opened on several screens. And some radiologists use extremely large medical screens on which they can use at once. So we don't know that the radiologist preference. On both scenarios, the MedDream could be used to compare on several screens and on one.
Okay, thank you. Another question. What features does the MedDream viewer have for dental procedures?
So for dental procedures, our viewer is already used for one of the biggest clinics in Lithuania, university clinics for the dentals. At this point, it's mainly used for reviewing of images. It is no implants libraries integrated yet, and also surgery planning tools. But we're working in that direction and working with some partners on these features. So our roadmap will be really intensive upcoming few years in the dental. So we expect that our viewer it's already usable in the dental environment, and it's already can visualize everything which is performed in dental, but not all MPR projections is created as dental expect, and some map is missing. So doctors is not so easily can find the thieves, but it's already usable, and some of the vendors are already deploying, and we had very good feedback on our product. But definitely this is the space where we entering. Last year, we entered significantly, and we expect to improve in that space.
Okay, another one. Do you have distributors in Brazil, or would we be the first?
So our situation, as you understand, Softneta mainly work with another vendors which integrate our technology in the solution and then distribute to the distributors and end users. Typically, we less work with the pure distributors because we mainly supply the viewer. So it means you need to have packs and another systems in your distribution portfolio to use us. So this is a question to you. are you really like to distribute MedDream, or you need zero footprint viewing technology, which are another. So it's better to contact our salesperson and which would understand your need, and we can discuss how we can help. Maybe we can guide you to some vendor which already use our technology to fulfill your distribution needs. Or maybe we can discuss and understand what we can help you somehow alone.
Okay, thank you, Vytautas. I don't see more questions in our chat section. So I guess this would be all the questions. And also, as you mentioned before, I want to remind who maybe didn't know or don't follow us and or don't get our news. So we are attending Arab Health in the end of this month, and it's a good chance to meet our executive team. Also, please make sure you get our newsletters or follow our social accounts so you can receive all the news and the news from upcoming events like webinars and Vytautas mentioned before, tech trainings. And I want to add that you are going to get this recording in a few days by the email you registered. I see we got some
another question.
more
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
the user interface is already available in the Portuguese, but the manuals is still in the progress. So the user interface is translated, and manuals at this point is translated separately by our partners. But I hope this year we will include what our major European languages will be defaultly embedded in the product, like Portuguese, German, Spanish, French, and of course English. So these languages we expect somehow be working with partners to try to build what our all upgrades would be visible also for the user manuals, and when you select language, you would get also the same user manual, because at this point in when you select different language, you get user interface, but you still have English, and you need to translate the English to your language. But this is already in the discussion scope how we can create that.
Okay, thank you. So I think this is it. We got all the questions. We answered all of them. So thank you everyone for participating. And as Vytautas mentioned before, next month we're planning another webinar with integration samples with our partners. So stay tuned.
Maybe Renata just show shortly where in our website the colleagues can find this information. Maybe some of our colleagues is new and they still don't know where our news section is website.
Okay. Events section with webinars and exhibitions, and also latest news with new releases, some great updates, and etc. So this is all the news you can find in our website, but of course I believe you're not checking every morning our website, so it's good to be subscribed to our newsletter, follow our social accounts, which are using Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or also subscribe our YouTube. On YouTube, we put recordings after the event. So if you want to participate and be online, make sure you get newsletter, follow our socials, or check on website.
And our next release is planned to be in the second part of the spring. So we expect that it will be end of the spring or definitely second part. Still don't define the exact date, because this very big development is going, and we still have like few weeks unclarity when it will be released, but definitely before summer.
Okay. So thank you everyone for participating and see you on our next events.
And Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a nice evening or day. Bye.